Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today here at Monte Sahaja. And of course, huge welcome to all who are joining us via broadcasting today from around the world. And we're very happy for this because it means that we can all be together in the same time, wherever you are in the world, for this Sunday Satsang here. So big welcome to everybody and look very much forward to how time will unfold today here. Very good. So, okay. Let's come. Okay.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I just felt compelled to step up. Some time ago you told me not to hold back. And somehow the person tried to figure out how to do that. And the only thing I could realize is that the person has no chance to find out how to do that, because actually the person was all these years there to make me not step forward. And these days I just feel like all I can do is to step up and leave the rest to grace. And with this gesture I also want to kind of acknowledge that I don't want to believe in that one anymore. I feel shaky standing here, but I'm fully up for that, and I'm.
What would it mean if I took your words as you said them? I don't want to believe in that one anymore, or I choose not to believe in that voice, because we know quite well. I think everybody knows the one you're referring to, isn't it? When we speak, that voice inside. That rambles on and is always commenting about what is good for you, what you're doing, and all different. It plays a very wide role, but somehow you must have come to some point where you're discerning that this voice is not true, isn't it?
Yes.
Because not everyone comes to that place of such a clear seeing that, this voice is not true. And then you say, I don't choose to listen to this voice anymore. Listen you can do. Follow you may hesitate. Because you have to hear what he's saying, Because if you get, then he's already in some way. You have to listen what he's saying. And but if you listen in a space of neutrality, then listening is not threatening, you see. And even if you listen, and by listening, you feel, oh, I wish I had listened because now I feel attracted to the voice I'm hearing, then that's also a point of to look into this and to say, well, to who is in here listening to this that is so vulnerable to this voice? And is this all of me? Is this what I am? Is this all of me participating in this exchange? Or is there another space in which I am more truthfully and perhaps not at all invested in or engaged with that voice? This is really intelligent introspection, more than to say be afraid. You see, I'm inclined not to say be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of him. Understand him. See how he works. This is very good. You understand how he works, and then see on whom is his voice so impactful. You see, these things as you study, as you look, you'll find that wait a second here, but this is nonsense. When you believe in his voice, it seems to make sense. When you somehow take some distance, try and understand what this voice is saying, and to who is it trying to influence, Even if you intend to do this and you find it difficult at first, quickly you will mature in being able to discern this voice is not true or not. You see, but you must have had enough experience of it to know that it has at least held you back, made you feel shy or afraid to be seen or something. So you have a sense of, some part of its function. And now today you say, I don't want to be following this voice or listening to this voice. Okay. Okay, carry on then.
Yeah, I feel now this one is not standing here.
Yeah, which one is not standing here?
The one that wants to protect, the one that is holding back. Even though I can feel the energy a little bit, but the seer, the one I feel like I'm standing here as is not that one.
Let's listen, because there's more in what you have said than we should just dismiss, you know? You say that one, the one who is vulnerable to the voice that says, you know, the one who listens to the voice is not here also. Did you catch that? I wonder if you caught it. The one who the voice speaks to, because this voice cannot speak to your pure self, to your higher self. It cannot speak to the God self. It cannot delude it. No chance. It doesn't waste its energy. You see? So who is he speaking to? Then you have admitted the one who he's speaking to is not here at the moment. So it cannot be you, because you are here to say that. Even the one who listens normally, don't go forward, you're going to look like a fool. The listener is not here. That listener is not here. And it is weakness to be not here. Who then is here? How many of you live in this house? I see.
Don't have a name for that one.
It might seem in the beginning sometime a bit tiresome to kind of follow this, to keep looking. But help is there with you in the form of grace. You see, to just clarify, to see that the mask you sometime would put on, and then by putting it on, automatically you believe it is you, that is not you, the mask of the one who is affected by the serpent's voice. You say, that one is not here right now. What is important is that when that one comes back in the picture, you don't leave. That you're here to say, okay, those guys are talking together. It's insignificant to me. And as you become clear, you start to recognize how much of an illusion it is, and how delusion plays. And once you're on top of the game of seeing, the power is cut. You've cut that invisible umbilical cord to the egoic mind and identity. And this can happen very quickly.
I actually wanted to say that it is hard for me to discern which one is true and not, but in this very moment,
Yes.
I don't think that's
Let me tell
true
you
anymore.
something. I am happy you're speaking about it. You said in those moments, it is very difficult to discern which voice is true. I want to tell you something. In those moments, you don't have to choose any of those voices. You can stay just as yourself. Even to be pulled into choosing one of these voices is not necessary. We feel, which is true, which is not true. You are true. You are true. Truth is not about listening which voice is true. None of them is true. You are true. You are not a voice. You are the holy presence in which this play is expressing. Once you pay attention to your own presence, these voices will begin to drift way away in the desert where they come from. You see, you've just exposed another subtle trick, you see. When they are playing, I don't know which one, left or right. Neither left nor right. You stay put in the space of neutrality. That is always with you. That is your space. That is your space, that space of neutrality. And as soon as you acknowledge call off the search. This is what one of my master's books is called, Call Off the Search. We are searching to find. When you realize you're the one you're trying to find, huh? Call off the search. Guys, we can all go home, it's okay. It was me. Huh? It does take a little time to, it takes sometimes persistence, because this egoic voice does not give up by itself. It has to be made to give up. And he has no compassion for you. He's not going to say, look, poor girl, I've bothered her all her life. I mean, she deserves a break. He's not going to say that. Therefore, when you say, I'm through with listening to this voice, that has power. Because in the same way that it gained power, by you somehow investing energy in listening to what he has to say, being pulled off to the side and all of this, and now when you again you recognize, but that is not true, I will not go with this voice, then you stop hemorrhaging energy, because it's not that it's going anywhere of any true or real significance for you. You see?
Yes, I can see it only seemingly protects me from something that it doesn't have to protect me from.
If you know who you are, you will not need protecting. It is you who give protection. You must find out and come to some clear understanding experientially. If you are a form and a name, and you are a date of birth, and you are your organs, you might say, yes, I need protecting. But if you truly come beyond that, because you are, then you will see that in the ultimate place, which ultimate means right here too. It's never just ultimately in the future. Ultimate means clear seeing. I am not that which grow old. I'm not that which gets sick. But this is not easy. Your mind will not accept my words in the beginning, because it very much seems to support your belief that you're merely a three-dimensional biological unit that needs protecting, or that you're your psychological self or something. Then it has a hold on you, you see, because you have identified with what is perishable. You identify with time also. So then, of course, the feeling of vulnerability comes, and it comes for everybody. I'm not setting myself apart. Everyone who took on this body will taste for some time the strength of that conditioning, that the belief I am this body. Whether you are Jesus Christ or a Prophet Muhammad or a Buddha or a Krishna. You see, and that is the greatness of the experience, that you can taste the sense of otherness and differences and not lose who you are, and discover who your true self, your imperishable self. If there was no contest, if there was simply you were just born bright and that was it, then no big deal. The fact is that, we are living with the pull of the five senses, and the potential of the mind to be creative and to fantasize, to imagine, to create, to desire, to transform. All these things are deeply attractive to the human expression of consciousness. And you are going to be in this realm and then transcend that desire, the desires presented through the medium of the consciousness and the body. That is some tremendous transcendence. Without being cynical about it, We don't say, the world is horrible. No, it's not horrible. It's also beautiful. And it's not that these things are made to be beautiful to tempt you. They are just beautiful. But to whom are they beautiful? To the one who enjoys them, who perceives them. A flower doesn't know it is beautiful. A cloud doesn't know it is passing. A road doesn't know it is going somewhere. None of these things, they know anything. It's you who say you know them. So in the vast expression, ongoingly of life, in all of its multidimensional facets of expression and beauty and the fragrance of life and all of that, for you to taste all of this and to find that which is beyond this, that's not a small thing. I feel that's what it's all about. That in the field of tremendous diversity, you find that which is a unicity. In the field of the changeful, you find that which is still. And very often, when we move from one desire to another one, or from one object, you see, we don't say, oh, you have a really nice watch and you've seen a Rolex and you want the Rolex, and you start to criticize the other one. Oh, it's kind of rubbish, it's not really good. This one is better. Who is the one that can say, yes, I just want this? Or enjoy and see, yes, the world is fine. You know? It's just something here was giving too much importance to these things and somehow lost its way. And now that it's seen, you see, not blaming the thing, just saying that these things they happened for me so that I can taste them and not become dependent on them, not become confused or addicted. Yeah, this is good. And the mind itself that is seemingly trying to deceive you and so on. I want to tell you something about Mr. Mind. Okay? He has to be here for this game to be played. Because you need the contrast. You see? Mind is doing its job very well. God put it here. The devil also put him here. He works full time and very, very faithfully to his duties. If you think you're going to appear before God and say, listen, it's his fault. The devil will say, listen, I just did what you allowed me to do, okay? She took the bait, I just offered. He's a more faithful servant than you are. Because as we say, even the greatest salesman in the world cannot sell you unless you buy. He didn't go in your pocket. He didn't steal from you. You gave it up. Because you thought those 10 bottles of perfume was a good deal. So you just use that, because as I said, the mind can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. It cannot intimidate your pure self. So the fact that we are going ouch, ouch, ouch is only because he's pulled you up into becoming a person. And it's only the person that has these problems. The presence or the inner soul, the being, does not suffer this. It's the person we take ourselves to be that then gets pulled about by temptations and so on. So, and this has to play for a while, because it's through feeling these things that you can discern again, wait a second, that's not true. After 700 mistakes, yeah, it's not true.
Okay, it can play, but I have chosen.
Yeah. Say again what you told me.
I feel it can go on, this play. It's
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
because I have chosen
You have chosen to...
not to listen to that anymore.
Very good. And this is your power, you see. And nobody can choose for you. When you say, that has some power. So your life should become much brighter and, full of aliveness and freshness and spontaneity. And I look forward to my exchanges with you from now on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. For some reason, I want to take a look at this. It is generating a lot of heat. I don't know if it's. I was checking if something is electric or what. It's very hot on the back. No, it's the right position. It's just huh? Okay. Who's coming? The waving hand. Come then. Whichever, go.
Hi. I have a question regarding cycle of death, birth and death, because I hear people saying that once you are liberated, then you won't incarnate again into this form.
Well, not into this form, anyway. So, is that your question?
That's the beginning of the question.
But you have to be a bit more specific.
More specific. Basically, I've heard you saying that I don't even know why I'm asking this question. It was just in my mind. I think really what I want to say is that I'm realizing more and more that this mind is just illusion, and I'm observing it, and my heart is my home, really. And this up here is just something that I was looking upon. And it becomes easier to stay in the heart space.
Yes. The more you do it, the more you are conscious of it, the more it becomes effortless, actually. Gradually, it becomes effortless. Experientially. Actually, the heart, it is effortless anyway. Yes. But it becomes effortless for the one who still imagines itself to be a bit separate from it. And as you keep observing that the mental tendencies and what the mind is bringing is really noise, actually. And for practical functioning, it is fine. You need your mind for that. But anything to do with identity and anything psychological, it's psychological relationship, it is not. It is better just leave them alone. If you say, I feel more, my heart is my home, and by heart you mean what?
By heart, I mean emptiness of the mind, where I can see that everything is me.
Yeah. You can see everything is you?
Sometimes. Like, I mean...
Anyhow, If you leave the mind, leave him alone, don't get entangled in its curling fingers to come and play. And you are more able to pay attention to the space where you're looking from and feel the purity of that, feel the contentment in that, feel the fullness of this, then whatever the mind is inviting you to do will feel less attractive for you anyway. This is what is a very natural process as you come to see, because very often we feel, okay, curiosity, what's going on and so on. But it's not pulling you into any harmony. You begin from a harmony. When we identify only personally, you come into a field of disharmony and complexity, needlessly, in fact, because it does not help you, doesn't make you more happy or clear in life. And so if you can see that and say, no thanks, you're already in a higher state. And then reincarnation and stuff like that won't even trouble you. You won't worry about it.
Oh, it's just interesting, like, somehow, I don't know.
If I put it a simple way for most people, just like the things that you have learned already in the past, you have learned some lessons, no? You don't have to go and learn them again, do you? If you've really understood something, you've passed that experience, you've learned from it, you've grown, you don't have to keep going back over it. It only seems like it keeps coming back because you have not gone past it. You see, like we say, a mistake is only a mistake if you learn nothing from it. You see? But if things come and you looked at them, you say, oh yeah, okay, that was finished with this. You don't need to go over that experience again. You see? And I feel that this is the richness of the life. You're constantly seeing the things that are sticky for you, that tend to pull your mind and so on, and then making higher choices. Or if not, going through with the invitation, being battered about quite a bit, coming out, just survive, and thought, okay, never again, I'm not going again to this, in which case, that's still good, but they say, better to keep out of trouble rather than get out of trouble. It took me a long time to learn that. Yeah? Better to stay out of trouble than to get out of trouble. You see, so I learned that quite late. I was hearing it quite early, but I learned it very late. So you save yourself a lot of trouble. My mother also, one of the rare letters she wrote to me as an adult from when I was old enough, not just a young boy anymore. She said, looking back, she said, I'm not wanting to go, but I'm ready to go. Not wanting to leave, but I'm ready to leave. I've looked back over my life, and I've seen for much of the time, I wasted it by just picking up trouble. And but now I know what trouble looked like. No, I don't. I save myself from this. You see, some people think we have to try everything, and let life serve you. Let life. Don't go looking for the trouble. Life will still serve you some, and just deal with the one that the life said. It will be enough. You see, like in the same way, I say, as the same way that you don't go to a restaurant and bring your own menu, okay? Then also come to life. Let life serve you. It will show you the things you need to learn. You will learn that, and if you learn it really well, you'll find, okay, I don't have to go over that again. I've gone past that experience. So if you want to put a very, I like to give it in baby food form. Whatever you have learned, you have understood, you've grasped, you don't have to go over that again. You've done with it. So if you imagine a life that needs to go on, even though physiologically it needs to stop, then somehow you have not completed learning all the things that you need to learn. Then, like if you're going from here to, driving from here to London, and then your car, just kind of breaks down, dead completely, you may have to get into another car. and to continue your journey. Or walk, I don't know, but the car helps the analogy better, you know. Yeah, that's all.
More and more life seems like a mystery.
A mystery.
Mystery, yeah. Mystery, I mean, like a
Yes,
big question mark instead of... And it feels like it's brighter, it's more alive, and more details I see. Like, it gets more interesting to observe instead of think.
I'm with you on that one. But okay. So something more?
I probably should say thank you.
Thank you.
Because once we are trapped in a mind state, we don't really appreciate this presence.
This is very true. This is very true, because while you're in a certain state that you are so involved with, you're not able to assess that state until you're coming out of it. When you're coming out, you can say, oh, with the contrast, wow, I'm really glad I'm leaving that now. But while you're in it, you have no way of assessing it. This is why, evolution is so important, progressing, and you move, you say, wow, it was time to leave that for sure now. You know? This quality of discernment must be there. And also with that comes a kind of gratitude for life and for your ability to discern things. Yes, it's good.
Also, I want to say that sometimes there is felt arrogance here towards other people, and just like, that I know better, or I can see better than others, or things like that. And
is it true?
No, it's not. But I thought it's maybe good to say it, because it's hard maybe to say it sometimes.
Yes.
To say that I'm arrogant.
There's a lot of space when you say that, when you express it, Yeah, because then a lot of people can say, yeah, me too. You open door for them. So, actually, yeah, I like you, because he admitted it. So something can just, yeah, it's true. You should never think you're not arrogant. We're all arrogant. Then as you begin to really sort of wake up to that and admit, you see some space. Because if you keep saying, well, like, I'm not arrogant, I'm never this, you feel a pressure building up inside. It's better just to admit it, actually, I think I'm arrogant. Yes, about what? I don't know, but I'm sure I am. But
I don't want to go.
But whether you're here, you're still here.
Yeah, still close. So,
Muhammad Ali just left the body, I think, a week ago, and he was a very playful guy, actually. Sometimes he annoyed many people because of things he would say, but he was not really believing that. And when you speak arrogance, he would often do that. One of the things he says, it is hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. But now, if you hear that the wrong way, You will just say, wow, this guy is horrible, you know? But if you hear it in its playfulness, then it just, you see? Everything depends on your attitude. If you're just being light, you can say many things and pull people's legs and so on, but...
I think I did not mention, but apart from everything I said, I feel very much the space of consciousness.
Yes.
That everything just passes, and it's not really what happens. Really, what happens when I was commenting about all the heart space, and it's more of a...
That spaciousness that comes really, it's the signature of consciousness itself. If you find yourself in very much claustrophobic states, usually the mind is there, personhood is there. It restricts, it compacts, it contracts the sense of personhood. When you are in a state of neutrality, more expansive, more global, more bright, more space is in you. These are simple kind of indicators, you see. If you are feeling in a state of arrogance, you're in a very narrow place. Or, you know, any of these sort of very personal states, you'll feel, you know, tight. The nature of the consciousness is very space-like, spacious, open, you know, limitless, you see. Formless also. Once you have tasted that, it's very easy to expose the mind states because you have experienced your broadness. So the narrowness, you'll know, that is, again, I'm going back into my mind, you see. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Thank you. Thank you. Good. All right. Good. He really doesn't want to go, really. Can I see you for a moment? Yeah. Can we try to hold the idea, that the feeling that you got 5 minutes, everybody, because lots of hands are going up, and sometimes in this shortest feeling you get to the point. It's we will not. I will not miss your point, and you will not miss my point. Good.
Okay.
Did you want to come up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to condense it.
Okay, good.
When the same egoic problem comes around again and again, I've been able to witness the emotional reactions that come up with it. Primarily, it's the same old story, the belonging, where do I belong, not belong. It comes up playing the same, carrying the same pain.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I catch it one by one now, or wait until the end?
I'll wait until the end.
Oh, okay. You want me to wait until the end?
Please.
Okay.
I talked to Lakshmi this morning. It was very helpful, actually. And, you know, was sharing with her how the first couple of days I was here, other than dealing with jet lag and sleeping, the body was tired. I was really quite content. And then the next day, it came the same sense of not belonging here in this environment.
Not what?
Belonging.
Belonging. Okay.
And
Belonging.
last night I had so many dreams around this theme that I woke up crying this morning from sleep. So I just let the feelings express without attaching to them. But when I was speaking with Lakshmi this morning, she said, perhaps that's wonderful that you're able to stay as the witness of what's arising, but maybe you're cutting the inquiry off too quickly and not following it all the way through. So I guess my question is not only how to do that, because when I ask who is the one suffering, it feels like I don't want a pat answer. I don't want to place spirituality. I want to literally cut it, like, so that it doesn't keep arising. And sometimes it stays gone for long stretches of time. I don't deal with this. And so you think to yourself, okay, that one's nipped in the bud. I'm not dealing with that anymore. But certain vasanas feel really strong, that they just keep coming again. So even asking the question, who is this that's suffering this? It doesn't keep it from returning.
And I need to come in now, because you say, one, that you don't want to just be playing spiritual. And I don't have time for spiritual play. And this is why perhaps these are the questions I ask you, because of all questions that could be posed to you, this, if you are authentic about it, this is as direct as it comes. It's not dressed in any spiritual fluff. It is not, you've got to do this, you must do that. It's cutting right to the chase, to the end of the chase. It's coming. You see? So I'm going to come back to that. Then before that, you speak and you say, the issue has been coming up, of belonging, the sense of where do you belong and so on, you see? So this is my listening, because immediately as I see that has a weight to it, has a power to it, I know that you're speaking from your person, immediately. Because only the person will feel this type of feeling. Where do I belong? Where do I fit in? And you come here and then, you feel, I don't know if I don't fit in, maybe I don't feel like I fit in. You see, already, and these are the things that happen for many people who come to Monte Sahaja, for instance. Because it is so alive with this kind of looking that things are not hidden easily here. It will start to come up. And so whatever it is that's troubling you, if it's troubling you, it's not going to wait until Wednesday. It's going to start coming up pretty soon. Okay? When you're fresh, to see if you can leave early. You see? To get out early. Many people come to one and say, maybe one person left the same day. Came, you're going to leave. So that is to do with some tendencies within ourselves, and they flare up when you come into this environment that doesn't really entertain the egoic, sort of like relationship that we normally operate from. This thing will come up also. And the sense of belongingness, maybe you say it's an old pattern. That's why it keeps coming around. Many of our weaknesses, so to speak, they're kind of seasonal. They come and they go, and they come back and they go, because they get served here. They get service here. And so we have to look at that. The reason why I cut in on you is to try and save you time and to save you pain. That you have to catch this. If you feel, I feel I don't fit in. You may speak to someone and you are speaking to them, you start to see them for the next 6 months, you're speaking to them how you can better belong. If you speak to the right person, maybe you get chopped straight away. You may get straight to the point of what it is in you that is coming up. The feeling of belonging is the sense, this pull to be a person, and it will never really get satisfied, I'll tell you. It will get satisfied for short periods of time, then it will come up again. You cannot satisfy a vasana or some dormant, persistent tendencies. They don't just get satisfied long term. They get a little bit, some momentary satisfaction, it will come again, like that. And you want it out, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was going to say was that there's a sense that when I'm in the world, say, for example, at home, I don't feel that there's anything really that interests me other than to call to awaken. So you say, okay, I want to go and I want to be with the Sangha. And then you come here and the same, oh, I don't feel it. Okay. So I say, really, I don't, there's also, what came to me was that that's not what I want, really.
What?
To belong anywhere. Like it's more that's why I said, I'm not saying that you're playing spirituality. I'm saying I don't want to play. I'm not interested in being in the inner circle of Sahaja. I'm not interested in, saying the right spiritual thing. I'm interested in liberation. And for me,
well, waste no more time. Let's get on with it, because you say the feeling of not feeling the sense of belongingness. That's one that will catch the attention.
Yes.
And in a short time, you're in relationship with this feeling of being left out or abandoned or whatever, all the things that come around the sense of belongingness, you see. And then now we do the inquiry on this one, because if you feel not belonging, and my question will be, okay, what is it that is suffering this feeling? You see, now you may be new to this and you may feel, actually, I don't understand the question. And that misunderstanding of the question can come because of different things. One is that it is so powerful, the question, because it's hitting straight into where the problem is being conceived. Or it can be that who is suffering the question is a kind of question you've never asked. You would never ask, you just take it for granted. It's me. It's my problem. I am the one. So we can start there. I am the one who is suffering from this feeling of abandonment or not being included or something, right? Then you follow this I is try to identify what is this, where exactly is this one living here in this body, this one who feels completely abandoned or doesn't belong or something. Just try and look for it. See if you can identify the one who doesn't belong. And just holding this intention in mind without creating an image, just looking with a pure question to see if you can find it. And you can do that now also. You see, that sense. You may find when you come up here, you can't find this person at the moment. But this is the kind of probing you have to do. Now, why I recommend this question is that as soon as you are clear about it, because it's not just a feeling anymore. When you're looking like this, there's an intensity that's there with you in looking, that when you discover clearly that this person, the one who suffers, cannot be found. It does not exist. It exists only as a thought, I'm going too far now because I want you to be telling me this. I want you to look and to admit, like all the thousands of people who have looked and have never been able to produce the one who is suffering. Because when you look, you find that, I don't know, it's not here. I can't find it. It only seems to be here when you already just embrace, yes, okay, here we go again, I'm back into this. And you're identifying with it without questioning it, strengthens this attack, this feeling of attack. It stays there. And all it does, it just masks your real opportunity, which is to go beyond and to rest in the fullness of your already complete state.
I guess, Guruji, if we've had... my question directly is, do you just trust that eventually whatever that vasana
I don't care
is,
about eventual. I'm talking about always the inquiry will take you to the place right now, not eventually.
I'm talking about the reoccurrence of that vasana.
Each time, if you do it successfully now,
go away by itself.
if you do it successfully now, it will come again, but each time it will come weaker and weaker. You understand? Until at a certain point, it will show up and you will not even have any time for it, basically. That's how much power you will have retained from this. Of course, in the strength of the attack, you would just like to have the pill. You're going to give me the pill, and I'm going to finish it. But there is something in your persistent looking and understanding that is burning forests of delusion in you. This is the power. You may not get just question, answer. No, it's question and experiencing your answer. Experiencing the non-existence that has only lived because you assume it to be there. You assume this thing is real. But as you look, you begin to discover, but actually I can't find anything.
How does it come in the dream state then? Like if it's not, when you say something isn't real, I understand the ultimate truth in that ultimate state as the self it's not there. I've had that direct knowing
that
as well.
That ultimate state of the truth is here.
But when it comes in, whether it's me identifying as the person or not, to just say, it's not me.
No,
or
you're not. I did not say you should be just saying it's not me. To say it's not me is only a thought, or you're kind of you're fluffing up a kind of feeling. It's not me. You're denying, but maybe underneath it you still feel it's me. Really. Okay, I'm never going to give in, Mooji. And next minute, sorry, it's not enough to be determined about it. When you actually look in the actuality of looking, then you will see. You see? Okay, I left a key this morning. I put a key underneath one of these cushions, right? I'm just for a quick thing, I'll tell you, underneath that cushion that is the red one there. Now, you pass this key for me. The key that I put under there. You, I'm talking, yes. I left a key to the room underneath there. Yeah. No, look properly, Is it there under that or not? You sure? Yes. Like that. Okay? He didn't say, I say I left a key there. He didn't say, I don't think it's there. And then, well, Mooji, next time, will it eventually show up or something? No. You looked, and I said, but you sure it's there? You sure it's not there? He says, I'm sure. Look again. No, I'm sure. Like this, you must be sure. Like this, when you look, you have to be sure. Because if it is there, then it will be there. I say, you say, this feeling of abandonment or loneliness and stuff, and you ask me, but will it eventually go? I said, no, why don't you look now? And each time when you genuinely look, tell me if you find it. And even though you may not find it, it may still come back. The feeling come back.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want it to come back.
Yeah, I understand you don't want it, but you don't want it to come back is not going to stop it from coming back. It may come back, but each time you look, you see, you will see. But after a while, I say, but no, each time I look, it's never there. So why be worried about something that doesn't exist? It's just a figment of my imagination. You will be speaking from experience then, and not just from assumption.
Where does it come from? And what is it?
It comes from nowhere at all. Everybody picks up some things we pick up just through life. Where does all the dust come from on the earth? Where does these things come from? Did you remember where you picked up your bad habits? You don't know. And even some people trying to help you, regression therapy and stuff like that, and past life experiences and stuff. Well, maybe you don't find where it was. You just, everyone has to have some junk when you come here. It doesn't matter where it comes from, is that you get rid of it. Because some things that come, they are untraceable. You're not able to find it. So you don't have to do some forensic on exactly where it came from. The fact is that you know that something comes, and you can look where it comes from. If you look, you will see where it comes from. If you look, you will see where it comes from. If you look, you will see where it comes from. It comes from nowhere. It comes from emptiness. And it comes also keep coming back because of memory and identity. That's the reason why it keeps coming back. Because you keep thinking who you are, who you were yesterday. You know, as a person. You see. When you follow the simple pointing and advice I give you, you will not have to speculate. You will simply know. It won't be a momentary experience, a novel experience that that's just for the moment or something. It will be your profound awakening. This is why we are here today. This is why I am here today speaking with you, to see if there's a space opening up in you to see with that depth. Because the fact is, it is here. It is the only fact that is really constantly here. The rest are only showing up here and there, now and again. Why are you crying now? It's just feeling, it's just feeling. It's just a feeling. Nothing is wrong with anybody. Everything you make up. You believe this thing is happening and well, it keeps going on. You're creating your own drama. Everybody's doing it. In the same way you're crying, you could easily just be laughing. It would make no difference. Except that when you cry, you believe it, and when you laugh, you expose it. That is, it's like that. But while we persist in these states, because they come and it's very difficult to shake them off, because there's still some identity that persists in us, and they latch on to the identity. And so they are together somehow creating something. But where I'm pointing you to is not in that. You're not caught in the bubble of any of these expressions. And you know what I'm speaking is really so very simple. The difficulty is not with what I'm saying. The difficulty, if there's one, is how far you're willing to go. How much you're willing to hold on to your attachments and your ideas about yourself. What I'm speaking is baby food, very simple. Because I'm not even asking you to create something, but more to look. But tendencies and habits, they account for much of how we experience things. If we have to work with each other, they say 7.5 billion human beings current today, everybody with their own problems. If you have to clean up this world, one problem 1 year for another 7.5 billion years. We're dealing, plus new ones coming also. And yet what you are is not the problem. And I'm pointing you into this. And it is immediate, and it is here. But there's so much loyalty to conditioning, to your belief and your identity. And even our identity is not consistent. And even when you speak, you're reporting about an identity that is largely what you have in your mind through memory, and always changing. It is only because something in you is unchanging why you can see all that is changing. And that is the most natural, beautiful, wholesome, pure and perfect thing about you. Everything else is imagined. It is so obvious. It's a joke, actually, in one way, and yet everyone is suffering. You know, this whole world has a side to its nature where we seem to suffer and cause suffering for each other. It's all due to one thing: identity. Personal identity. The belief, I am this body. The body is innocent. The body is totally innocent. Thank God for the body. Senses are innocent also. It's just that seed belief inside that says, I am this, that gathers a lot of energy around itself. And you, the consciousness, adopts this energy and say, this is me. I'm just looking for a break between you, somebody who will just have an opening to see what I'm seeing, and you are straight out of this thing.
We were watching a video last night of a spontaneous satsang that you did here, Sahaja. And I know that you were talking about how after even some years had passed after your initial seeing, that there was still the thinning away of the identity. And I guess that's what my question is. Not so much, you know, I know that there's not a formula, but
no, there is a formula also.
What in that process can we do as the identity is continuing to thin? Because
I'm talking about nothing else. Why should it be confusing? I'm speaking about nothing else. And if I spoke what you feel you've heard yesterday, I simply mean that as long as you have this and consciousness and the vital force, the potential for thought activity will manifest. Not that it will overwhelm you, but it will try and reshape itself here and there. And I think in a sense it is a good thing, because while consciousness is occupying the body and the vital force, it needs to do some work. And the best of work is somehow to keep a quiet alertness or vigilance within itself, to watch for this tendency that the tendrils from the mind might rebuild again into some root system. It's very, 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 very unlikely once you have crossed over or you're cured from this tendency to keep believing that you are a person. I say cured, yes. The most natural thing. And if I speak about these things, yes, the little things will come, but nothing will overwhelm you. Nothing will overwhelm you. Momentarily, you might feel little expressions of a sense of anger, a sense of something, but nothing at all will topple you. It's impossible. Once you know, how can you be toppled? Just there, while this body is here, it has a human fragrance, and the consciousness is functioning in it, and there's an awareness of this. It's not a big deal. But when you're suffering it and believing deeply, I am this, and who you think you're talking to, you are this, chauvinist pig, then you see that you're well sucked into that type of state. And that's where the trouble comes. You see.
so just keep doing the inquiry, basically. I mean,
do it properly. Do it with me. When I'm here, I do it with you so that you get more and more aware of the power of it the immediacy of it. Don't just do it as habit, do the inquiry. You could be doing the inquiry a billion times and get nowhere unless your heart is really focused, that your urge is to really try and find out. Then it becomes very easy. It's very easy. It's very easy, but not if you're not willing to offer up yourself in exchange for what you'll find. Another way I can put it, where we speak before, is that if I put it in this way, when your love for the truth is greater than your love for your ego, you are free. Because sometimes we are fiercely defending. People say, Mooji, please chop me, and all this type of stuff, and be ruthless and don't let me get away. And I said, you really mean that? Because a few times when the ego is challenged, whoa, it brings armies of demons on me to come and find, what you said. I said, but look at this one. You say like this, you defend your ego. Even here in Sahaja. Rather than to look and see, but what is this? What is this that's feeling so defensive, Can this be the righteous self? No, it can't. Then why is identity given so much to this? And you will destroy him there. Rather than be feeling hurt and this type of foolishness. It's easy to be free. It's very easy to be happy. What is not easy is to give up your sadness, your loyalty to your sadness, and to your identity that we give so much value to your psychological mind. That's some loyalty is there that is really astonishing, seeing as how much trouble it brings you. It's just our human thing. It plays like that. I don't know why, if you ask an existential question like this, why it seems so difficult to really discover this. Because when you have discovered it, you say, why is it appears to be so difficult to discover it? And what is appealing about one's ego? That's it. Because you feel that all you've learned, all you've imagined as a person, is of such great value. And then you're going to exchange it for the great emptiness. It's a bad deal, I don't want that. But it is not like that. As you discover yourself, you realize the more you lose as a person of who you are, the more you are as you. I don't know of any case where someone has awakened to the truth of themselves and just felt, oh my God, I made a big mistake. I want my old self back. I don't know, you may have heard of such things. I have not heard, I have not seen.
But it's also a process. Like, if that were the case, then
you
it
want
would
to
be
forget
so
about
rare.
all these things about process and time and eventually and one day. You need to just forget about that. Like, it doesn't exist except in your mind. The future and one day will it eventually become like this, and in the past you need to just chop all these things out now. Like, they don't, just keep quiet, don't even touch one concept. That would be something. If I could give you something, I said, don't pick up one concept, drop all concept, don't pick up one concept. Don't touch anything again, if you can. Only pick them up if you really need them. And this you can do now. Yeah. Don't think one more thing, because everything is just kind of rubbish. Just put everything down and pick nothing up, including your eye. Drop everything. And don't pick, and then let me see if I see you suffering. If I see you suffering, you say, Mooji, I need one concept. I say, okay, which one? I give you back. Okay, you can have this one, but go on, there, take it. I would like someone to take me up, and I think you're the perfect one for this. Don't touch anything. Keep quiet. Don't touch anything at all. You go and sit down, and when you are, struggling for one concept, just give me one, Mooji, just one. Then I say, okay, I give you one. You can have one. If I see you suffering. Good? Thank you.
Thank you for not colluding with my ego. Thank you.
Very good, my love.
Guruji, suddenly I suffer from shyness, so I've written.
You written?
Thank you.
For me to read? Okay, let me see then. Thank you. Oh my God. Beloved Guruji, I leave tomorrow. Is it true? You leave tomorrow?
Yes.
I leave tomorrow. I am surprised that the departure day has arrived. I feel as though concrete foundations were, what's this? Poured in my being when I met you, and they have been hardening since. And when the wind blows, I am not as easily swayed. Thank you. Still, sadness, fear, jealousy, confusion come. Right now, on the eve of my departure from this Shangri-La, I feel afraid and tested. Like Sicilian women of old, the person in me is shouting from the balcony without any dignity or restraint. I am coming back, but don't know when. I am ready to walk out of my life, but I don't know how. Just thinking of you, I feel like a teenager at the first flutters of her heart. Also, Guruji, bellissimo. I so much want to come with you that my heart... To Italy? Yeah. You didn't put no Italy in here?
Well, sometimes I forget the words.
Okay. I so much want to come with you that my heart aches with longing at your holy feet, your Padma Shri. Lucia sends her love.
Lucia from Australia.
Lucia, very nice. Great. I was thinking of her this morning also.
She would love to come, but she can't.
Gautami thanks you for healing her from cancer. It's very good. There's no problem here, no? There's no problem? Or is it? Or tell me.
I feel like, I'm suddenly very shaky and my chest is burning. I feel the threat of anxiety, and I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, the threat of anxiety will make you anxious, won't it? Huh?
Yeah, she was there when I was sick last year, and she, we live, we are neighbors in New York, and suddenly the thought of going back, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get sick again, and I'm going to be back with the family. I know the memory, not to go with that. I know that, but this is where I am, and I know that with your grace, without any spiritual gymnastics, I've come a long way, and I want to be with you here.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the place before. I don't know why. It used to make me feel really, I wanted to run away like the people who come, but I love it here, and I just don't know how it's going to work.
You shouldn't know how it's going to work. You should just know it's going to work. Isn't it? It's a wonderful thing about life. It works. It just works. It just works. Even if you have no script written, you come and it simply just works. And if you are sitting in the place you should be, everything looks right. Everything is good. Everything is New York. It feels good. You'll bring that energy with you.
Now I've told you, and I feel better already.
Yeah.
Not really.
What? Then why are you going back there? Okay. That's it. Okay. These Italians, I tell you, I don't know about it. If you come, come here. You better say something. Sit down, I tell you, sit down. You take a microphone. Speak.
So, the whole week I really wanted to be close to you, and that was pissing me off a lot because I didn't see you that much, but also you told me to keep quiet, so I just wanted to be close to you, but not to speak, just to be close to you. But every day I was writing something that I was feeling, and it was interesting to see because that didn't make any sense at all. Every day it was changing a lot, and one day didn't make sense to the other day, and it was like completely bullshit. And I was seeing my own bullshit every day, and it was painful some days, but it was actually very good at the same time. So, yeah. It's very painful, but it's a relief in the end. It's painful and it's good, and it's painful and it's good. But because I ended up with like a book in the end of the week, I felt like putting something on a paper, which I thought it was like the only thing that was really important there. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe tomorrow I'll think it's not. But can you read it? It's not big.
Okay, Mooji, I love you so much. Point of situation of the imaginary process. Everything is watched from this place. When perceiving a thought or feeling, I look for the perceiver. I can't find it. It's just another thought form. And what was being observed vanishes at the same time. The letter should finish now. Yeah?
So it should finish
Oh,
now,
here,
right?
here. Oh, I said the letter should finish here, right? As you can see, it doesn't. Even being able to see this doesn't make it stop. it actually takes me some time to be able to look honestly as I can, and during that time, the feeling still, the feelings are still operating. When I look, they go, but they come back. And it's clear to me that everything I feel or think is projection, imagination, conditioning that shapes my reality of every moment. Everything. Yes, if you believe them.
It's bullshit. I put my reality like this because it's not reality at all.
Yes. I just don't see how this can stop. Isn't this a consequence of being a human farm? We imagine everything. Human world is pure imagination and convention, for example. I say that Sahaja is a beautiful place, which seems a fact. If my mother came here, she will ask, can someone please take me to the closest 5-star hotel, if she came here?
Yeah, because she doesn't like
nature. To say that Coca-Cola is tastier than green tea is the same. It seems to me that this way of perceiving and experiencing by concepts, comparisons, likes and dislikes is inherent to being a human form. All is consciousness, but every form in which consciousness expresses itself as a unique way of being, different forms, capacities, and qualities. Like a fish cannot live outside of water, or a bird under the ocean. Like peach?
like peach trees.
Peach trees give peaches and not strawberries. As it is with human form, we have this capacity to feel, imagine, create concepts and meanings. Maybe human ones, the only form on this planet that I can and even want to realize.
Maybe the humans, maybe they are the only form in this planet that can actually see that they are more than the form and even want it, because the other ones don't have any problem with their form. So they don't create stuff. They
Well,
just
at least you know you can with this form. But still, they are the forms also with all the consequences that holds. Maybe my mind is just creating a big and complex an excuse to the fact that I feel I can't get away from this human thing. But if I have to be 100% sure of what I say, I might be condemning myself to silence for the rest of my life. Not bad thing. I don't see an end to this. We keep creating rules, conventions, rights and wrongs. The all-human world is full of this. Like peach tree gives peaches, humans do this. I feel all I can do about this is seeing that I am imagining, show some compassion towards my imagination and others, and keep confirming myself in what I really am. If I force myself to stop feeling or thinking, I feel so much pressure and tension that creates a sense of an impossible mission, or even a sense of a problem where there was not any real problem. Maybe now it's a good time for you to give me the advice I've been waiting for during the last 7 days. Love you, Martin. But will you follow my advice, though?
I did self-inquiry, like for real again. In the beginning, I really felt the resistance, and I felt how to say, like the thing, like I just wanted to be there, like calm. But then I really started to watch again, and in the end, there's only this perceiving, not someone perceiving. There's only perceiving.
Like right now also.
Always,
Yes.
always. But still, I think because...
Stop. What is aware of the perceiving? Slow down. Don't answer me quick. I'm not in a hurry. What is aware that there is perceiving? the functioning of perception is happening. What is aware of this? Don't give me a word answer. Just look first and see if you understand what I'm asking. If you understand what I'm asking, then try and answer me. First of all, is there not the perceiving of this? You say that I know that there's perceiving, the functioning. What is perceiving what?
It's to me, it seems they happen simultaneously. The perceiving perceives itself.
Who are you speaking as now?
I don't know.
It's important to find out. Because you are there, commenting, the perceiving is perceiving itself. Is this outside of you? So who are you then? You must find out. Because you keep leaving yourself out. Like you're looking at something independent of you. If you're looking at something independent of you, leave it alone and just show me you. Introduce you without all the other things. Let's not get confused by all the other things you can talk about. Leave them. Everybody know about all the other things, all the thoughts and the feelings, the memories, the projections, all of this you know, all these things you know. Okay? So leave them. I just want to see you. Let me meet you without all your story and all of your stuff.
I don't know the answer. I don't know what I am. I know I'm not.
Just hear me for a minute in your heart. Leave everything. I don't need any explanation about anything at all. Okay? I want take this chance to meet you. Just to meet you. Not even to share, just to meet. But I don't want your story or your intention, what you've done before, what you have attained, what you have achieved, what you want in your life. None of this matters for me. I would just like to meet you. Don't even introduce yourself. Just meet. How are we going to do this? My request is bigger than any of your talk, any of your answers, any of your questions. Let's meet. Let's go even one before meeting, because meeting means at least two. So if a meeting happens, something is aware of meeting. So let's go before meeting, before even the concept of meeting, and before the concept of you and me. Because this we know, you know me and you. Can I meet you? So before you knew about I and you, let's go to this place, let's be in this place. Let's see if there's any meeting there.
I don't even know how to make sense of what you are saying about work.
Yes, you do. Before you learned anything at all, you know what I'm speaking. Because everything you learned with some effort. But this thing requires no effort. And it's not even something we have to do now. Don't have to, it's not a doing. Before doing came. Suppose I could take away all your concepts, not leaving you, not even with I will not even leave you with I. So all your concepts away now. Because you have no trouble, no concept, no trouble at all. You don't have to answer any, you have no questions, you have to answer anything at all. Because all of them is conceptual. So take all of this trouble away from you. What is here now? Something is here, isn't it? Something I can't take away. Everything that can be taken away, I take away. If I took away everything that can be moved, that remove it, okay? Then there must be something left that cannot be taken away. So this you must know first. And then you can have all the other things afterwards. But you had all the other things, but you're missing this. You're missing to remember this and to know this. And this is why everything else is a mess for you. Nothing matters at all. Just this. I wonder if anybody understands me. You don't have to imagine. You don't have to imagine what I'm saying. If you emptied completely all the concepts that you have learned or you would like or something, leave everything, everything. Piggy bank is empty completely. And then we smash him also. You're not piggy bank. No bank. No, what is here, you see? Something is here, isn't it? What is the date of birth of this something? Does it have any parents or religion? Is it male or female? Can it be unhappy or confused? Does it know anything about future or past? As many as want to participate, to see this end of game kind of invitation, you can participate. The earth can be overpopulated, but heaven can never be overpopulated because there's only one there. I feel this is what you're searching for. And you are not going to be totally happy until you found it. It's only here you're going to find peace. And you're going to start falling in love very fast. Full.
I already am in love.
You see. Then only after some time, I'm going to show you the bag of concepts that you want. If you want, you can have them back. If somebody come and talk to you, you may find talking is happening, but you don't know anything at all about it. Somebody give you something to do, you might find yourself doing, but you don't know how you're doing anything at all. Somehow it will happen. Huh? No past. Yeah. No past, no future. And then I'll see if anybody feels sorry for you. We want to see what happens for you. You're here for some time, so we can keep an eye, we'll see. Okay. Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste. Before we speak anything more, that invitation is not finished. This invitation is not finished. It is the most open thing here. It actually is timeless. So don't bring bring back the mind and say, okay, now, next. It does not know next, actually. It does not need next. It was before, past, and future. Okay, yes.
I just want to report where I'm seeing from and see if you can help.
Yes.
Just continue with the inquiry, I guess,
Okay.
or just seeing. A lot of times it can be seen, person A, the voice just comes out of nowhere. Person B reacting to it, almost like a person C, this vague sense of a person watching, not really emotionally involved. Those are seen. However, when sort of trying to sort of parse through what is sort of being seen, and there's a voice to it, and then this sort of, I don't know, this. First of all, the seeing's not clear, and also when from the perceiving place, let's just say there's a voice added to it, the person sort of kind of wiggles back, but it's sort of.
But it is seen also.
Yes.
Yeah, all that is perceivable, you've captured in the net of seeing.
In the moment, but as soon as the voice is given, then it's sort of.
As soon as what voice?
There's a voice given to it. Like, for example, right now, the voice is given to
Because you're describing?
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
the voice. That is also perceived. All that is happening on the screen of consciousness. The watcher of the screen, can this watcher be watched? All that you speak about from any region of time, you can perceive. Don't take it out of your mind that this is complex. It's very simple. Maybe that's why it seems so complex, because everything else is like a complexity. This is the most natural because it's not even something that's going to happen. It just is already here. It is not an event. Events take place in front of it, but it does not happen. It is not an event. Because of it, the functioning of perception occurs and is perceived also. And the perceiving of the perceiving also is seen. But that causes all of these things to appear What perceived that? Who are you in the light of this looking? Where are you? Where are you? Drop everything about you now. Drop everything, every idea you have about you. You must leave it right now. And you will know who you are. Is it possible? My invitation is is it unreasonable? Leave this idea of yourself trying to understand. Drop also this now. Don't identify with anything, and what? Are you up for it? Because I am inclined to feel you must be up for it, otherwise I can't be here. Why will I be here? Yes. So you've come so far. Don't turn back. You cannot turn back. If you turn back, you're keeping the ghost. If you're going to be a ghost, be the Holy Ghost. Don't go back as some kind of something. You leave now, even the idea of yourself is there. Just leave it now, and you'll see who you are. Because anything else you see is not as important as you. Anything that you can see is not as important as you, because all of them depend upon you to perceive them. And there's no arrogance in this. There's no flattery in this. The only thing that might sense to get involved in this is who you think you are. Maybe you decorate yourself with some concepts about you. Drop all of those now. Leave everything. These words must mean something. Leave everything and then see what you are now. No imagination needed now. Who are you now? You want to keep you as an ego and know everything? You cannot know it. Your mind is too tiny. Even your mind you know. You think your mind know you? You think your mind know you? I'm looking at my hand. Is my hand looking at me? You are looking at your mind also. You think your mind know you? Mind is insentient. You did not come here to learn a lot of things. I am not that type of teacher. I have come to teach you nothing. Or to show you something. Are you confused by the things I'm saying? Don't identify with the confused one also. It's not you. Confusion is not you. You're watching something that you believe is important. You're called confused. Don't even touch that. That is not important. Look how quickly it's going to vanish also. It's all made out of air. All the stuff. You touch them and they become something. That's how powerful you are. You're believing many things into existence that did not exist. So don't touch even any idea you have about yourself. Because any idea about yourself is a limitation. It is not complete. It's only, you are not an idea. But you can play as an idea. We have played as many ideas. And thankfully, to the law of time, you've had to drop them. Because none of them are true in themselves. So drop all of them for a moment. You think you're going to die if you drop all your ideas? Who is willing to die for that? Oh. I'm surprised. Then do. Drop all of your ideas then. And remain as what remains. That's not even something you can do. You can only discover. Otherwise, you are simply holding on to a sophisticated kind of process, something you call process. We are not into processed persons here. No processed cheese, no processed meat, no processed anything. No processed enlightenment also.
While you're speaking, at least it seems like there's nothing going on in the head. It's just,
yes.
But, and then I guess this is probably just an image fluttering in front of consciousness, but it seems like there's a moment of...
There's no but either.
Yeah. Not...
Maybe in the mind says, this can't be real because, how can anybody live like this? Your mind will come and say, it's an interesting exercise, but it's unreasonable, it's not realistic to live. How can you live like this? I have to have a whole of my existence to think out. Why not try? It's Sunday. You don't have any huge commitments. You must have at least a few hours of Sunday. Try being nobody for a few hours. Use the few hours completely well. Your desire to be somebody has brought a lot of trouble in your life. Why not just be? Which you already are. And don't add anything to that or subtract anything from that. Test it out. You're here, You're off duty. You're here in this space. You can try. Let's call this place your legitimate madhouse for an hour. You can be anything you want. You can even be nothing. And then, of course, you can be something whenever you want. But just see how you are when you're holding on to nothing, including your sense of who you are. Just try, because maybe something new for you. Maybe from as long as you're conscious, you've always had to be something. Always had to know what you're doing, where you're going, fulfilling your dreams, being responsible, being a good citizen, being a woman, being a man, being a father, being mother, being a good child, good student, good employer, good employee, whatever. But have you ever been neutral enough to allow yourself simply be free of all your labels just for a moment, and just to see where you are without your tags or labels just for a moment, and see if that is something that you are going to suffer or not. And the beautiful thing is, your capacity, your ability to think or to reason it is still with you. I'm not asking you to suppress your senses, don't breathe. There's no technique about it. Be yourself. And why do I have the confidence to tell you this? Because that's what I am. And all the other things that must be function, they get done too. Even with the labels. But underneath that, you're just this. You're so this, you don't even have to remember it. What is so natural in you, you don't have to remember nor make effort. And try it out to see if you become a fool, if you'll walk out in the street in front of a bus or something like that, or just bump into trees or something. See if you malfunction when you are this empty or not. And there's a point to what I'm speaking, because until you touch base again with yourself to discover that you can be empty and full at the same time, you'll always have a fear of life. You may feel that somehow, you intended to ask a question and you can't find it or something. Well, that's up to you. If you could just drop that. If you can sense that you're in a higher state and the question cannot come with you in your high state. Or you can insist that your question has been swept aside and you're not happy about it. In which case you'll go back to that and you'll take that state. These are simple things that we can learn. You can learn from quite early. It will not do you any harm, in fact. It makes a very peaceful being. Yes, if you can, why not? At least try. It doesn't require any strenuous, sweaty effort. Understanding takes care of it.
I feel I have to affirmate, to shout out, drop with all my power, with all my being.
You'd have to do what?
To affirmate,
To affirm.
To drop with everything, with all my force, with all my might. I feel like I have to do this, to push me all the way.
That would be another mental. It would be using your mind, a mental kind of efforting. That's not required. She's fine. It's not required actually to go to some sort of such a physical effort. It's not required. It's not required. Your understanding quietly even, you see. It doesn't require turning to the left or the right even. So powerful is the understanding, your capacity as consciousness, that just by understanding and just by a shift of will, it's like this. Imagining we are someplace and we went to see a performance and there's an orchestra playing and you're sitting next to a master musician, and he says, all the instruments are playing. And he says, listen to the violins. Can't you listen to the violins? Wouldn't your attention go and just listen acutely to the violins? You don't have to say to everybody, could you slow down please and stop, I just want to hear the violin. No, you don't have to do that. Just, what did you do? What would you need to do? He says, listen to the violins. Okay, now just the cello. What do you do? Just as you are there, something brings focus just to the cello, and you can hear the cello. With everything else going on, you can hear the cello. What did you do? What effort did you make? In the same way, understanding my words where I'm pointing to, and right where you are, without even blinking your eyes, you are free. You are in the midst of your own freedom. Your mind wants to tell you, yeah, you have to do these deep breathing exercises. No, you don't. You can if you want, but that's not what I'm asking. Just with understanding, you see what actually, it's true. There's nothing I have to do. Mind wants to do something. You're good? No. Finish up. Come here like you want to finish up, like it's your last day, your last chance.
I mean, I want to keep on standing here until I get kicked off.
With what I've told you, you should still not be here like this. You should have gone past that. I told you, drop him. Drop him means what? Nothing, no violence. No violence. This is true ahimsa. Drop your ego. That's what it would mean. Don't identify. Don't identify. I was speaking once with one lady from Australia some years ago, and she was in a perplexed state, and she was talking a bit agitated, and we were talking, you know how many hours this, I was in London at the time, you know how many hours we are not synchronized in hours, different time zone, thousands of miles away, just on phone, no Skype. And we were talking, and she was agitated, and I was directing. And then when I saw this, yes, now, this, I say, this. And she says, thank you. How do I know that she had reached this? And how did she know? Thank you. Thousands of miles, different time zone. Can't see my face, cannot see her face, but yet in the change of understanding, energy field change on the phone. This, yes. Thank you, Mooji. Thank you. What is this? When, for a moment or whatever, you become timeless again. You're not just some heavy body with all its, just not that. And no arrogance about it. Just, whoa. No trips. No drugs. No mantra. Don't wait for your mind to agree. Don't wait for your mind to go, yeah, that's the one. Don't wait for him. And you'll find you are already where you are and what you are. And that you've always been just this. Simply, your attention was living in an idea that is not true. Relatively true, you may say. Partially true or something. Because your body, your person, is also a form of consciousness. It cannot be without the root consciousness. But until you have discovered your root self, your root being, your source being, you'll always be somehow in some fragmentary state, fragmented state somehow. Like this, like that. Yes. The war is over. They say that some years ago there was a fight and some battle was going. I think actually it was with you're from Japan?
Yes.
Japanese people, Americans were fighting. And they say that the Japanese, some Japanese soldiers, they went to one island, they're living in the bush. And they become so skilled at living there, you see, to fight in the bush. Their defense was amazing. But the war came to an end. The generals have met and they're signing treaty. The countries are celebrating. But nobody told them. They're out in the bush. They are still in war. Because their countries have stopped fighting. They could go home and have nice sushi or something. But they're out in the bush. Even when the message came, hey, war is finished. I said, boy, guys, the war is finished. Where is your war finished? When you stop identifying as this person. And can you just stop identifying as a person? No. I've shown you. Not by determination, I am not going to believe I'm the person. No, you cannot do it. It's too deep inside. But by looking and seeing that the person can be seen as an idea you have about who you are. And that all that you're saying, all that you're speaking about, they are just some kind of image, some psychic image flashing up on the screen of consciousness, being watched. But who is the watcher of them? First, you may find a watcher who also has some investment in what it is watching. But if there is such a watcher, this watcher is also phenomenal. It has a relationship with whatever it is looking at. When that is seen, a deeper place of watching that's impersonal, that becomes evident. And here, you'll find all your questions, they thin away, they become nothing. Why? Because you're home. You're home. This is what I'm speaking. You all know it too. But you're under the impression that you don't. In fact, you're all happy, but you think you're miserable. You're all home, but you imagine you're lost. This is how it is. This is a play. It is a play. And our belief becomes our experience. And your experience become your life. And your life appears to be true. Yeah. Okay.
Can I come?
Yeah, okay, come. Oh, yeah, thank you. Very good. I like that the last time I spoke with you, I said something and you picked it up and you worked with it. But now, one more step, so to speak, a stepless step. A stepless step. You see? When I told you, don't touch that, leave that. Even your idea of yourself, don't pick it up. So that you don't have to imagine, but what will happen if? No, do it and you will know, and you will tell me the answer yourself. Very good. Thank you. Very good. That's good. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the pecker.
Okay. From Sanja. Beloved Mooji, I am deeply grateful to be here, touched by the pretty flowers on the pathway and the kindness and loving welcome I received when I arrived. You speak powerful words of truth and wisdom. Your teaching is direct. You are full of love, open, kind, and gentle, yet forceful when needed. Although I can be confident, my deepest intimate feelings are shy. I have private conversations with you in my heart. Hence, why I write, for when I speak, it does not seem to sound the authenticity of my heart. Old deep wounds have surfaced here, yet are quickly seen and fading. I also feel traumatized the last 4 to 5 years. Please let the music of my heart express its love to you. The melody inside of me is infinitely true. Master of my heart, you know I love you, Sanja. Although I can be confident, my deepest intimate feelings are shy. I have private conversations with you in my heart. Hence, why I write. For when I speak, it does not seem to sound the authenticity of my heart. You recognize that when you're speaking also?
Yeah, I've always recognized. That's why I like to
It's been
speak.
it's taking the microphone, my love.
Sorry. Yeah, I've always recognised that since I was a child.
Yes.
And that's why I like to sing or write the poetry, because then it feels, or play or dance, play drum or dance, because then I feel I can express. But the speaking voice, it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't feel.
There's something you need to say that you have not said. I think once you have said it, then other things can come.
Well, what's been going on in my head so much is a Hawaiian saying ho oponono, which is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
That's what it means?
Yeah.
I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. That's the song? It's
no.
words.
No, that's just, you said there's something that I needed to say.
Yes.
And that was something else that I wanted to say to you.
Oh, because that sounds pretty good. The voice sounds pretty good. But
So,
what are you sorry about?
any transgressions that I've had over the time here in life, really.
Oh.
And then,
Maybe this is why it's good for you to say, because, you know, I don't hold anything against you or anybody.
I have a question as well, which is, I am infinite consciousness.
Yes.
So as infinite consciousness, why do I separate myself into all these I know it's to taste myself, but why do I make it? It seems to be so difficult for many people to be liberated. It seems that there are not many souls, especially in this time, Kali Yuga, that free themselves. Why would infinite consciousness that I am make that so? It seems that it's made difficult somehow. But why would I do that as infinite consciousness?
Well, you cannot just make sweet things. It's like if you go to a movie and it was all people looking at each other and going, "Hello, darling." Nobody would go to this movie. It wouldn't even be it wouldn't be a B movie or a C movie or a D movie. It has to have some contrast. Some car chase, a bomb here, somebody gets shot in the head or something. You know, a relationship falls apart, somebody deceives somebody. It has to have the full drama of the human experience also. And it's in that field that we grow, because you have to exercise your power also.
Can I sing for you,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, okay. Is that to avoid saying the rest? Or?
It's the Master of My Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. I did write this about 20 years ago. So I know all the masters and gurus are one. So I dedicate it to all those that help to liberate the
Not
beings.
just the masters and gurus, everybody's the one.
We all are, yeah.
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 It's just that they know it.
We're getting there. Yeah.
We think we don't. Okay. Sing me a song then.
Master of my heart, you know I love you so. Let me play a part in your never-ending show. And I will give my all to thee, my each and every breath. Let me lay upon your knee until my hour of death. And I will listen patiently to stories you have told. Let me lay upon your knee and see your face of gold. Master of my heart, you know I love you so. Master of my heart, you know I love you so. You've turned me inside out, my Lord, with loving tenderness. Now I know what my life's about. I surely do feel blessed. The golden light that shines so bright inside of me is yours. Where you reside, it is inside. You've opened up the doors. The doors of truth have opened wide, embracing me in bliss. A joy unspoiled that has uncoiled within for me to kiss. Master of my heart, you know I love you so. Master of my heart, you know I love you so. The golden key you gave to me has opened up my door. You sowed a seed, removed the weeds so I could feel some more. I see your grace in every place, your beauty does abound. For I did see revealed to me your wondrous light and sound. So let the music of my heart express its love to you. The melody inside of me is infinitely true. Master of my heart, you know I love you so. Master of my heart, you know I love you so.
Thank you. How are we doing? You're tired? No? Okay, can you come first and see?
There's such a sweet urgency right now, and it's peace. Your grace is so abundant, and what I know I can do, or the intellect can do, is to hold off identifying, and then there's this electric emptiness that just clears everything out. And then it's only when you decide to shine through. And it's not a pulling in, it's not, I don't know how to say what it is. I have to come up here to just keep it going forward, because it's now. It has to be now. Not in the sense of I'm the one that feels that it has to be now, but there's just this is just the role that seems to be needs to be played, and every time there's a contact with you, something gets spoken, and when there's no power in the word, it's seen right away. There's something in the way you reflect instantly, and it just so much discernment and clarity coming from you. So I don't know what's next. I don't know anything. I'm just here, and I know it's you.
Suppose there was no next. Because next is not outside, next is an idea in our mind. Because you see the trees blowing outside and so on, but you don't touch next. You say, which tree is the next one to blow? You don't touch next. So if you don't touch next, things are just what they are. Next is a concept in mind, you know? What will be the next thought? What's going to be my next life? What is going to be the next chance I have? These are all concepts. If you don't touch any of this, you find that the life flow is just a stream. You don't have to you're just always the sense that you're always here. You're always here. Wherever you go, you're always just here. You see? So the only thing to be seen is not in next, it's always in here. It's always just here. Is to see what is here. But not necessarily to see it as something separate from you, but just to see that. Of course, if you look on the surface, you see different forms. You say, well, I'm not this person here, I'm not like this. But beyond the form, because forms come and go, they come and go. They don't do anything to you. They come and go. In your perception, you see forms come and go, colors come and go, light come and go, shade come and go, all things come and go. And you are still here. But for what we are speaking, we have to go beyond the form of things. And this is why very often in meditation people close their eyes, because you close your eyes to everything that's on that side of the eyes, you have closed the windows of your mind now. And then in this, when you close your eyes, you stop seeing everything that's outside. When you close your eyes, what do you see? You don't see lungs and kidneys and stuff like that on the inside. That's not inside. In the world of feelings and thoughts and contemplations, you may say, in the inner realm. But even that innerness is still outside of something. And that thing is neither inside nor outside. It can see simultaneously the sense of outside and inside. What is this thing? Thingless thing. Thingless thing. What is here? When the eyes are closed and when the eyes are open, it's still here. It makes no difference really to eyes closed. We close our eyes, you say, you're cut out because people say, I get distracted. Close my eyes, I'm going to meditation. Then what you see? People say they see worlds and planets and space, but that's also something you see, still object. Something is there before even space, because it perceives space also. It perceives perceiving. It sees seeing. But that doesn't mean it's a thing. Is it a thing that is seeing? And how can it be answered? In you have to look. How you know? That which is seeing everything that's called else, every other, every I, every notion, everything, every subtle thing it is seen. That which is seeing all of this, can it be seen? This question is going to be one of your final questions in this body. It's the most important question in the human kingdom, because it's showing who is the perceiver of existence itself. Can you say the ultimate seer is over there? Just not this way, yeah. The ultimate seer is over there. But who is seeing the ultimate seer over there? Isn't it always right here? Is it the body that's saying it's over there? No, the body also is seen. The emotions also seen. Memory, function of intellect, all these are seen. The senses, the imaginative functioning, all these are seen. Who is the seer? Is it different from you? Who are you? Has anybody ever asked you this question in your life? Even your parents, they don't ask you this question. They are some of the most close people to you in the world, for most people, not for everybody. Or your beloved, your beloved, your wife, your husband, your children. Have they ever asked you this question? Who really are you, mommy? Yes, but I'm your mom. Yeah, but I mean, really, who are you? Has anybody ever asked? So now is a good time. Beyond the roles we play, a mother and father, and a technician and a doctor, a meditator, and priest. No, yeah, this is what you do. That's the role you play. You, who are you? Oh, that's a very uncomfortable question. Well, who finds it uncomfortable? I am here even before the answer I will give you. I am here. My answer will not convey who I am to you, because I will also watch my answer coming. Who are you? This is one thing that's definitely worth reflecting on, meditating upon it, marinating in your seeing, looking. This is going to be the highest benefit. If somebody gave you 1 million euros raise every year, it's still not as good as this, what I'm telling you. But that's only my opinion. You marry the best person in the world, and a good cook, a really good. Still not as good as what I'm telling you. Maybe one time you will tell me it is true, Mooji. It's not as good. Nothing is as good as what I found out. This I found out that everything can go now because I found that where everything come from.
Yes, and this is, I've worked with this question so much, can the perceiver be perceived? And there's so much grace in it. And what seems to happen is the attention is like flying into the sun of the self, and it's just melting, and then it comes to complete quietness. And this is the role of the question, is just to slowly dilute this itch. It's giving this tendency to contemplate, to
not
be
necessarily
attentive.
slowly. For some people,
yes,
some slow.
In the instant of it happening, it can be, once it's worked with a bit, it can be instantaneous.
Yes.
But it seems there's the instantaneousness of in that individual inquiry, but then there's also the gradual thinning away of all these different vasanas or things that
That's
are popping
after.
up.
That's
Yes.
after. You see.
So
You come through the front door, then you can go into the kitchen. You're in the front door, we're closed. You're in the house. So inside the house, instant. You don't have to show any ticket now. You don't have to press the buzzer. You're inside. You're on the aeroplane. Yes.
yes, and when there's this complete quietness, and it doesn't happen under my volition of will, but I can retain this quietness.
All this is secondary now. All this is secondary now. All this is secondary now. But these are still things happening. Find that which is not a happening. All our life, we're running after one happening after another happening. When will you take rest? Even sleep is another next. Whatever is happening after is not your business. Automatic is happening. You are there before the beginning. Am I talking fairy tale here or what?
No.
Okay. Of what value is all this that I'm telling you? What's the value of it? I have nothing to give you. What's the value of it? this understanding saved my life, saved me from life, and saved me from death. Just like you. We're living in the theater of consciousness. All you talk and do this thing, and then after they want to do this, all in the mind. Somebody's going to know. You know, sometimes you can say things to people because you have a feeling they don't know, and they're mesmerized. But what if you spoke with someone and after you tell them your best know-hows and have-dones, they said, yeah, and what? You've delivered your highest speech. You have shown your most beautiful, up-to-date resume, stamped by the president. And they say, yeah, okay, what? Why are you showing me this?
That's essentially what's happening here. Is I wanted to come to you to just be, to give you a front door key to my heart, basically, and open and not have anything predetermined to say, but it's coming out in this way of this is what has happened and this is
but
what
I'm
I've
already
done
inside
and
your
how I've
heart.
got there.
I'm already inside your heart.
Yes, I know. And this is what's happening.
I'm sorry, it doesn't sound very good, but it is like that. We are all inside each other's hearts. You're trying to let me in. I'm already here. I am there with you saying, come in. Remember, I told this story, no? I feel like telling a story, lighten things up a little bit. No, they're pretty light. They're pretty light now. That remember I told you about the one man, a Sufi master, meditating, no? He is meditating in meditation. Then suddenly he finds himself at the door of God, at the door of Allah. No? I'm at the door of Allah. He's telling this. Wow. So he knocks on the door. And the voice says, who is it? And he says, it is I, my Lord. And the voice says, go away. There is no room for two in here. So instantly, my God has rejected me, and he's there, shuffled up, he's sweating. Allah reject me, Allah reject me. What to do? But he finds himself in meditation again, and he's thinking, why? How can God reject me? And then he finds himself again at the door of Allah. But he had meditated about it. Knock. Who is it? It is you, my Lord. Come in. So, one day, you remember what happened? We were down there making this, in the shed, and I just made the door, and the door had a little window in the door, isn't it? And then they were outside, and they were knocking on the door. Is that it? And I said, who is it? And they said, it is you, my Lord. And I said, I don't believe you. Because people are very smart, you know. It is you, man. Only as we ruminate, we ponder deeply over it, we contemplate it, not once or twice, but it is so sweet. Like I say, it is a fruit that keeps getting sweeter and sweeter every day. But it never gets oversweet. You start to just to feel for it. You simply love to look. Perhaps the greatest joy for them is to keep contemplate. Maybe the greatest joy for the self is to contemplate itself. Which it can do in the expression we call life also. Very good. I'm surprised how much the time has flown today, because when did we come? 3. It's 10 to 6. Time flies when you're having fun. It's not, yes? Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can do it. Yeah.
Mooji, I just have the sense to be quiet, to stay quiet. That anything that I can say, it doesn't refer to this.
It is very good. It's one of the highest sadhanas, no? To keep quiet. To stay quiet does not mean to not speak only. It means don't even think. It means don't even touch any word or nothing. It's coming out in the mind, something, you're aware of it, but somehow you don't follow. You don't follow it. Don't follow that vibration of thought, Why? Who is able to follow this advice, though? You see? The reason why, to not follow it, the thought, because it will always take you to more noise. And only the one who has been in for a while begins to value the silence that is the natural silence, not the one that doesn't speak. There's an unspoken silence or a non-speaking silence where somebody is simply not speaking, and we say that the person is quiet, but not necessarily, because some people, they are not speaking, but their energy is noisy, isn't it? They are not speaking, but somehow, you don't want to say that. Another one can be speaking, but somehow there's something very silent about them. But this not speaking or keeping quiet is really not raising any thought. The story goes that one time, it says in the days of the Buddha, that in those days there were these groups of debaters that was going around, and they were having philosophical debates openly. And each of these people, they had followings also. And they would go and challenge each other to some debates. And then whoever wins, then what happened is that the loser will have to join him along with the loser's team as to join now the winner. That this was going. And they would debate philosophy and all different things about life. And he said that one particular man, he had grown very big following because he was a master debater. And then he comes and he approaches the Buddha, Gautam Buddha, and he said to him, I want to debate with you because I hear that you are a very wise person. I want to debate with you. But if I beat you, then you and all your followers must join me. And similarly, if you beat me, I and all my followers will join you. And I have a lot of followers. So everybody was really, whoa, the Buddha. So the Buddha said to him, in all of your debates, have you found out who you are? And he said, what do you mean by this? He said, no, have you found? You say you're a winner and all these things, but who are you yourself who wins? Have you found out? He says, maybe not, I don't know. The Buddha says, I will take up your offer, but first, because I have a lot of work to do, I have a big following, to make it worth our while, you see. I will make this deal with you. You come and spend 1 year with me. After this year, you challenge me, and I will accept your challenge. And if you win, I will join you. And if you lose, you join my people. Then he said, yes, I will do it. Buddha says, one more thing before you come. While you are here, you must not talk. I won't accept any question from you or any debates with you. Nothing. You simply keep quiet. At the end of this time, I will sit and we will debate, and I know that I have a good debate. So the man stayed, he agreed and he stayed. And then somehow he found, many times he wanted, I have to speak with you. Please don't know, you agreed, don't speak. After the certain time had passed, the day came and they met. And the Buddha says, now I am ready to accept your challenge. The man says, you're a thief. Yes, you're a thief. You have stolen my tongue. You have stolen my heart. You have stolen my mind. How can I debate with you? You have not done anything. You have not spoken one word to me. And I cannot find one word left in me. Can you be quiet like that? If not, then speak. And empty what you have inside you. Speak it out and say, this thing I am having trouble, or this. Or keep quiet. Yes, keep quiet. I will not say for even 1 year. I only say, just keep quiet. Whatever the thing comes, you may have to do something in your life. You have to move this body, you have to exercise, you have to eat, all these things are okay. If somebody says, good morning, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. You have not broken your silence because you are not trying to engage anybody. simply responding is happening like this, but you're not taking any credit or responsibility for that. You're still quiet. You lose interest in conversations, even though they still happen. You're not looking for anybody to talk to. You're not lonely. You're not lonely. You're not speaking with anyone because you're lonely. You're not speaking with anyone because you're bored. You're not speaking with anyone because you're needy. Then such a person, you want to hear what they have to say. So this would be the real silence, you see. I met this time in Rishikesh 2 years now. One Baba, they call him Muni Baba. They call Muni means silent one. Silent sadhu or Swami. But he goes around with a blackboard and pen and thing, we're always writing. You want to talk with me actually? I said, he's not silent at all. He wants to talk. Then at least, why not just talk? I mean, this is okay also, you write it, why not? You also save yourself a lot of trouble. So this silence it takes you to another silence. The effort silence of not speaking gets you to be more contemplative, but it should bring you to the silence whereby whether they're speaking or not speaking, it makes no difference. Because your speaking and your non-speaking comes out of your absolute silence. This is a beautiful thing. And you will know if you are being true or not. You will know if you are being true or not. You'll be able to observe yourself much better. Once we were making, one silent guided meditation. We were recording it. And there was one period in the silent guided meditation where I was not speaking at all for like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, which feels a bit long, 4 or 5 minutes seem a bit long. People think, what's happening? So they decided to cut it and make it shorter. But when they cut it, they made it too short. So then I said, no, this sounds too short. Just energetically, it feels too early. It should be more long. So what we did was, they tried to just record silence, like a digital silence. When they tried to record digital silence, there was a big difference between the two silences. One was the silence where it's just not speaking and things. You can still hear maybe a bird, but it's still silence. In fact, it's even more silent. The digital silence, absolutely nothing. But it's not nice. It's kind of funny silence. So it's not the same. One is a living silence, one is a dead silence. You can't let the two mix. Your silence, the Buddha's silence, the Christ silence is a living silence, you see. There was nobody there being silent. It was not a performance. He didn't have to remember he's being silent. We also have sometimes silent retreats. Why silent retreat? So that each one can be allowed to be in their own space without somebody asking you, so how are you finding it? Are you enjoying? How are you finding the satsang yesterday? And because some people say, no, I don't want to talk right now. So we agreed we will have a silent retreat in that form. But of course, that is not the real silence we're talking about. It is only an assistance, it's only an aid to say, leave people alone. Because some people are serial gossipers, they can't keep silent. And after a while you start to see that they got some words, they have to speak it out. And they're looking for somebody to see who will be a good victim, And they can't keep it. But even if they didn't do it for a few days, they will also become more quiet. And then many people, after just 7 days when they go back, they say, oh, the world is so noisy. Like, I don't know what are we speaking about? There's nothing to say. Just after 7 days of keeping quiet. They feel, everything is so noisy. Everybody is making so much noise. Everybody is making so much noise. And then after 2 weeks, they're also making so much noise again. That silence is only an aid, a support to find the true silence, in which you can work and make a noise, or things like this, but still the power of your presence is emanating a real silence, a great beauty. It's not a psychologically self-conscious silence. You're not even aware you're being silent. This is the real silence.
Yeah, well, this is a very deep wish that I have to be silent inside, of course, because many thoughts are coming all the time.
Yes.
And I've been struggling quite a lot with this, with the fact that there is, like, the windows are closed from here towards outside, but inside it's been happening, and hurricane and thoughts and a lot of things. But I really want to express my deep gratitude to this, because it's been a very good thing, although I've been in a war inside. Yes. But somehow Grace this morning, many times, but the last one was this morning that I felt, although I was working in the kitchen with a lot of movement and noise, thoughts and everything, but somehow the person vanishes, and I felt, it's not that I felt this person, but I could like sense the power of the self somehow, and I felt myself like totally free.
Yes.
Feeling that it doesn't matter what happened outside or what happened with the thoughts, if the thoughts come and go, but this presence is always, it has always the same power.
Yes.
And of course a little while later I see that this power was like diminishing a little bit. But still I say to myself, but it's there, because it is perceiving this vanishing. So this is my deep longing. I am completely in love with this. With what we are speaking about, that you are pointing again and again, and you say, it's here. And it is here. It seems to be like different dimensions happening at the same time, and when this is happening here, is so clear to me. It's so clear.
Yes. This, you said something that strikes me. You say, I'm falling in love with it. If you mean that, you're falling in love with it, then I'm not going to be worried about you at all. You fall in love with it, but don't let the sense of two stay. Because really in love with, it wants to merge, the love wants to merge, it doesn't want to stay like two. You see, we have the saying, we love to taste the honey, you don't want to be the honey. You know? We want to taste the honey, you don't want to be the honey. But in this fullness, you taste the honey and you are the honey also. You see? So this falling in love, I just love it, I love it. You know? Then this love is going to take care of you completely. It's going to gobble you up. And that is going to be the sweetest gobbling. It's going to swallow you up. And so the sense of separation, so there won't be any longing left. It will just be totally perfect.
And I feel very clearly that grace is here with me all the time, and you are with me all the time. Yes. Because even though sometimes this person is coming, but the grace is never abandon me. It's there.
Yes.
It's there anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's impossible to live without grace. Grace is another name for yourself. Grace is always there. Not always recognized, but it's always here. Grace is taking care of you. You think you are taking care of you? If it was you taking care of you, you'd be dead a long time ago. All the times you've been driving on the street and and Grace took you home, that's all. So many things, but you don't call it grace, just life, same.
And I just want to say also one more thing, that I've never seen in my life one human being in this form with such a love that you have and that you are showing and giving to us all the time, and for me it's really, really inspiring, and I melt with you and with the whole universe.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm lost for words. What do I say? Thank you. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. This is all love, actually. It's all love. In one of his very beautiful expressions, the service to or self-discovery, that is love. And this love never leaves you. This love is you, actually. We can only grow much more into the full light and focus of what I'm speaking. You're falling in love with this, and you're marinating and contemplating this. It's just becoming more and more clear, more and more clear. That is it.
Thank you very much, Mooji.
Thank you, thank you.
I love you.
Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Love you, love you. That's and somebody will play some music now because yes. Wow, the time is really running. Have we got some fast batteries in this clock today or what? You're leaving tomorrow? Is that why you're looking so happy?
Thank you.
Good, good, good. Yeah, it's good, it's good. Yes.
Come to life inside my heart. Come to life inside my heart. Come to life inside my heart. Come to behind time and space. This is your way. This is your grace. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Gurudev, Gurudev Namo. Gurudev, Gurudev Namo. Gurudev, Gurudev Namo. Gurudev, Gurudev Namo. Om Namo 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 Gurudev Namo.
We will take a break now, and those of you who have to leave, you're welcome first to take some chai. I think some chai has been prepared. There is a second portion of Satsang where I get a chance to read some of the letters that come each week. Some of them are also from the last retreat also. I have not read as yet, but I take that time to look through them, and you're very welcome to stay. If you want to come back, we'll come back in, say, 20 minutes, 25 minutes is reasonable. In 25 minutes, and I'll see you here then. Okay, thank you. Hi, darling. Oh, very good. Good to see you.